I started off by taking a tour of one of Columbia Valley Farm's asparagus fields with owner Brian Lynch. When you're driving by it, you don't think much of a field like this until you get close up, and then you notice there are hundreds and hundreds of stalks of asparagus everywhere around here. Why is Washington such a great place for asparagus?
I think it's the hot summer days and the cool nights and the sandy soils. We got real sandy soils here. I think we have about 33 to 3,500 acres in the state of Washington.
Now that's a lot of ground to cover, and there isn't any fancy machines to do the picking for you. So I figured I should see if I can make the cut as an asparagus farmer. Brian, when it comes to harvesting asparagus, the only machine that's really doing it is this guy in your hands and your back.
You said it, 150,000 times a day probably, I don't know.
Well, let's start with one.
Just a matter of stooping over, grabbing the spear, doing the cut.
All right, so I'm coming in below the soil, cutting
right there, you got it. We can get an application and get you filled out.
There you go. You know, I think for the people at home that sometimes don't realize where their food comes from, you know, here it is. There's a lot of people out here that are bending over day in, day out, just with this, so we make sure we have great asparagus on our plates.
That's right. It's amazing amount of work before it gets to the retail side of it.
This is kind of a superfood.
It is. It's the king of vegetables, we think.
There you go. You heard it here first. The king of vegetables, the asparagus.
Yeah.
All of that freshly picked asparagus is then trucked to Columbia Valley Farm's processing plant. 75% of it is packed and sent out fresh, and the remaining 25% is jarred and pickled. I stopped by to see how the infamous Foster's Pickled Asparagus is made. I'm here with Ryan, and he is the operations manager of Foster's Pickled Asparagus.
You bet, that's right.
So show me around, show me how it starts.
Okay, right here we put in 3 spices.
Okay.
And it measures it out according to our recipe.
Now, is this like a secret recipe? You don't share it with anyone?
If I tell you what, if I told you, you'd all disappear.
We'd all be gone.
You bet.
All right. Well, it smells great in here.
Today we're running original flavor, which has more of a dill pepper taste.
Okay.
We also offer red pepper. And then we offer a Cajun and jalapeno.
Jalapeno. That's right.
That's a good one.
After the spices are added to the jar, it heads to the packing area, where workers are taking perfect handfuls of fresh asparagus and packing those jars tight.
With years of experience, they just kind of know exactly what to grab. They make it look pretty easy, but it's kind of difficult.
So I thought I'd give it a shot and put my packing skills to the test. These ladies are gonna be laughing at me, I know it. And Ryan's right, it's a lot harder than it looks. I'm like shaving some of the asparagus here. But eventually, I got the hang of it. There we go. Now good?
Perfect. You're hired.
Some lucky person in Washington State is going to get my pickled asparagus. Right on the line. The jars then get filled with salt, water, and vinegar at 180 degrees. And once the lid and a label gets added, there you have it, a jar of Foster's Pickled Asparagus. Can we try one of these guys?
You bet, let's bust that thing open.
Here we go.
All right, you bet.
Very fresh, delicious. I'm gonna have one more, just to make sure. That is very tasty.